why security is important in information technology. To give you an example, let us assume that you are going on a holiday and you forget to lock your front door. This is actually happening in information technology. People are keeping weak passwords, they do not understand security, and it is very easy for an adversary to hack into any application or any personal information. So, what are the different types of attacks that are out there? The most interesting ones are phishing attacks, there is dumpster diving and impersonation. Now, to give you an example of what this attack is, let me give you a scenario. You go to a ATM vestibule and there you want to actually withdraw money from your saving account. Now, you will see there are a lot of receipts that are out there kept by other people. Now, this looks really innocent, but for an adversary this is actually a lot of information. Now, you can use that receipt and actually do credit fraud. What happens in this case is the adversary or the person who wants to do malicious thing is taking that receipt, he is using the last 4 digit and it is calling you. Now, the moment he calls you, he says, hi, I am from credit card company and this is the last 4 digit of your credit card. Now, this gives a lot of credibility to what he is saying, and if you are unaware of security, you might give really confidential information to that person and be a victim of credit fraud. So, what do you mean by secure? Secure has a following attributes: confidentiality, availability and access control. What is confidentiality? Confidentiality means that if I have some information and I do not want to share it, nobody can look at that particular information. Availability is if I want a service, let us say google.com, if I want to go on google.com, I as a user should be able to go to google.com anytime, and google.com is available 24/7. What is access control? Access control is if there is some other guy who wants to actually see my inbox, he should not be allowed to do that. I have my inbox, he has his own inbox, and those two things should be separate always. So, if you want to make your e-commerce web application secure or any of the web applications that are out there secure, what do you mean by it? How to do it? Now, one of the great examples that I want to put forth is ICICI Bank. Now, if you look at ICICI Bank, you have your normal username password from which you just log into the application. Now, that is one. Second, if you want to actually transfer some money, they have something called as credit grid or card grid, through which you can get that grid number, and only then you can make a transaction. The other thing that they do is they generate OTPs at the end of your transaction, which goes to your registered mobile. So, you see it is called as defense in depth, means even if there is one user who has cracked the username password, if he does not have the card grid with him, he will not be able to do transaction. Even if he has that card grid with him, if he does not have that mobile number on which that OTP is sent, he will not be able to do the transaction. It is very important for ICICI or banking system to have security in which defense in depth is very important. Now, let us assume that that somehow the website gets hacked. What happens? Now, when that happens, forensic team comes into play. Now, forensic team job is to get or understand how the hack happened, what are the things responsible for that hack, how we can save what is left.